They say ignorance is bliss. I say it is survival, for I have seen the truth buried in forgotten papers, scrawled in the madness of dead men, and whispered in the cold winds of the Pacific. The world is not ours. It never was. And now I fear the walls of reality grow thin. Part 1. Professor Angel's Discovery. It began with my great-uncle, Professor Angel, whose death, though seemingly natural, was the first stroke of doom. Among his papers I found the thing that haunts me still, a crude bas-relief of some hideous form, part octopus, part dragon, part something older than mankind's nightmares. The artist, Henry Anthony Wilcox, spoke of dreams of towering cyclopean ruins, of black seas writhing under alien stars, and of a voice deep and distant calling, Cthulhu. Wilcox's delirium grew worse as the days passed. He raved in his sleep, muttering in tongues unknown to man. He drew symbols, twisting, obscene, on his walls with frantic hands. When lucid, he spoke of vast spaces where geometry failed, where light itself seemed sentient, shifting in ways that gnawed at the sanity of those who beheld it. He described shadowy forms writhing in the depths, their outlines vast and uncertain, while the voice, always the voice, spoke in words of crushing alien authority. And then suddenly the madness ceased. Wilcox, pale and shivering, remembered little of the ordeal save the fear, the overwhelming fear. Part 2. Legrasse's Raid. Wilcox was not alone in his visions. I found another thread in an account from New Orleans, 1908. Inspector Legrasse, a man hardened by years of hunting criminals, led a raid into the bayou, seeking missing men. What he found was not human. Torches flickered on leering faces, half-naked men and women chanting before a towering idol, the very same figure from Wilcox's nightmares. Their chant was guttural, inhuman. Funglui mgonaf Cthulhu, Relia, Wagahnagel, Ftagr. The swamp was alive with unnatural sounds. The air hung thick with an oppressive heat, and the trees loomed like silent sentinels, their twisted limbs dripping with moss. Legrasse's men crept forward, guns ready, hearts pounding. The cultists had formed a ring around the idol, a monstrous thing of blackened stone, its surface slick as if wet, despite the heat. The creature it depicted was wrong, its proportions shifting depending on how one looked at it. It was alive in a way no carving should be. The moment Legrasse gave the order, chaos erupted. The cultists fought with unnatural fury, their bodies twisting and contorting in ways that defied nature. Legrasse's men fired into the mass, but it was like shooting shadows. Some fell, others howled and fled into the swamps, their voices echoing in the night. And still the chant continued, even from the dying lips of those who lay bleeding in the mud. The survivors they captured spoke of the great sleeper, of Relia beneath the waves, and of a time when the world would tremble at his return. They spoke of dreams like Wilcox's, spanning continents, infecting minds across the world. The stars would align, the gates would open, and Cthulhu would walk again. Part 3. Johansson's Testimony. The final puzzle piece came from a forgotten ship's log, the Emma, out of New Zealand. A single survivor, Gustaf Johansson, whose words should never have reached me. His ship encountered another vessel, the Alert, crewed by deranged men who attacked without reason. But the worst came after. Johansson's shipmates found an island that should not be. Black stone impossibly angled, rising from the deep. The gates of a forgotten city creaked open, and something stirred within. They ran, but it was too late. Johansson wrote of a thing so vast, so unnatural, that the mind rejected its form. A mountain of horror, a cosmic titan uncoiling from the abyss. Cthulhu. The name was a wound in the air. The men fled, and Johansson, by some mad chance, turned the ship's prow toward the thing's head, ramming it, sealing it once more beneath the waves. Johansson and the few survivors who escaped the island drifted for days. They dared not speak of what they had seen, and the silence between them was more terrible than words. One by one, they perished, some from wounds, others from a horror too great to name. Johansson reached home a hollow man, his gaze haunted by things unseen. He died not long after, and I fear he was the last man to truly know what lurks beneath the ocean's surface. Part 4. The Horror Yet to Come. But what is sealed may yet awaken. The cultists whisper still. The dreams spread. The world tilts toward something dark, something older than time. And I, who have read the letters, seen the symbols, traced the steps of those before me, I know too much. The stars will align, the sleeper will wake, and when he does, there will be no hiding, no hope, no escape. Fungli maglunaf Cthulhu relie, wagahanagaftagan.